Hey, everybody, this is Brenda Green. Thank you for joining us for our next Tuesday chat. And of course, to those who follow us, but for those who do not follow us, I am Brenda Green, the founder and CEO of the Be Strong Group that my husband and I founded in honor of our son, Braden, who has sickle cell disease. Our mission is to spread awareness of sickle cell disease as we educate, advocate, and empower. Um, we decided to host these virtual discussions just to share about topics that are important to our sickle cell warriors as well as their caregivers, but also important for those who want to know and learn more about sickle cell disease. So we're so excited that you are joining us tonight for another special discussion. If you joined us last week, and if you didn't, it's still on our feed. We had a discussion with the American Red Cross. You know that we partner with the Red Cross to host blood drives. And until there's a universal cure for sickle cell disease, one consistent and important treatment or is blood transfusion and exchanges, and that's an important thing. So we definitely want everybody to become a blood donor, and we want especially those in the Black and African American community because we need a more diverse blood supply. So that's one of the reasons why, one of the many reasons why we host blood drives. So we had Visha Jameson, the sickle cell account manager, last week, as well as Dr. Yvette Miller, sharing with us the important things that we need to know prior to donating blood. And if you haven't heard yet, and I'm shocked if you haven't, but we're hosting our final blood drive on Tuesday, December 28th at the American Red Cross building at 2751 Bull Street here in Columbia, South Carolina. There are still spaces for you to help us save lives. Our theme is "'Tis the Season to Be a Lifesaver." So we have another special guest joining us tonight from the American Red Cross, and I am going to bring her to the screen. We have Shonette Sneed, the Regional Donor Services Executive with the American Red Cross. Thank you, Shonette, for joining us.
Brenda, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here today. So let me just start out by saying thank you. Thank you so much for the partnership. It has been delightful to partner with you and the Be Strong group to make sure that we're able to continue our mission, for you to be able to continue your mission, and to make sure that we have enough blood on the shelves for our sickle cell warriors. But thank you.
Oh, you're
So
so
Thank you. So, as Brenda stated, my name is Shonette Sneed, and I'm the Regional Donor Services Executive. And so, prior to this, I was chatting with Brenda, and she talked about your whys. And so, I wanted to start out by saying, why am I here today? Why am I working for this organization? And why I'm so excited about this national initiative of growing the number of diverse donors. First of all, I've been with the Red Cross for 19 years. So, on a business side, or more on a business side, it is something that I'm excited to see the organization move in that direction to make sure that we're not able to have blood for some, but we're able to have blood for all. So, on that side, that's the reason why. But on more of a personal side, as we talk about sickle cell warriors, I have a member of my family. She's 22 years old, 23, and her name is Aaliyah, and she has sickle cell. And I remember when she was born, just seeing, being at the hospital with my family members when she was born, and later on learning that she had sickle cell. There are times that and I say we because it takes a family. It's just not the parent, but it's the whole entire family. And this was a first for us. And so there were times where Aaliyah, her parents, and the rest of my family, where we were in the hospital. And this is even before I started working with the American Red Cross. And I remember the fact of her needing units, her needing a unit of blood needing a unit of blood. We were waiting for her to get a unit of blood. And just at that time, she was an infant. And there have been many transfusions. But when we first saw her go through her first crisis, I remember just standing there with tears in my eyes because I felt like there was nothing that we can do. And we were trying to figure out a family, parents, we were new to this and understanding why wasn't the blood available? Why were we waiting on a unit of blood to arrive to the hospital? And then once she received the unit of blood, just to see her body and the comfort that she started to feel once that transfusion went into place. So, people ask, why I'm so excited to be here. When I talked to Brenda, I said, look, I'm on vacation, but I don't care. I need to be here to make sure that we're able to carry out this mission. It is very important for people, African Americans, Black, to get out, more diverse donors to get out and donate. I mentioned, and Brenda, if it's okay for me to move on into this,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I mentioned about the national initiative, and our organization not only saw this as, we noticed it a while back as a local need here within South Carolina. So many of us, including Brenda, we started what we called a diverse donor task force here locally in South Carolina. And so when we started this initiative, this is before the organization started a national initiative. We were already moving, and as you can see, Brenda acknowledging it, we were already moving. We had put a team of people together and started to look what we could do locally within the state. And so I'll talk a little bit about locally, but I'll go back to take a step back. I was happy because we were able to get more feet behind us, more soldiers behind us to get this moving. Not only if it was important in South Carolina, but to know that it's important across the whole country. So the organization started this national initiative. Now, a whole entire department has been formed of many people that look like us, that understand the need of making sure that we have diverse blood on the shelves. And so our organization put a lot into this, making sure that we're able to have executives, we're able to have directors, we're able to have a sickle cell account manager. I think last week, if you were able to join the virtual chat, you had an opportunity to meet Visha. She is our sickle cell account manager for South Carolina. But now, as this being a national initiative, we're able to reach out to, on a national level, to 100 Black men, to 100 Black women, to many sororities and fraternities, many historically Black colleges, to make sure that we're able to carry this mission across the country. But here locally, some of the accomplishments that we've been able to do, I'm happy to say that the Be Strong, they increased the number of blood drives this year. Yay. Increase the number of blood drives this year to ensure that we can continue to live the mission. Also, here locally, we were able to get with a number of fraternities, a number of sororities, and to be able to grow that base where we had maybe a smaller base before, but because of the fact that we have the Sigmas, the AKAs, the Deltas, many other members on our task force were able to give us leads to these different groups. And so from there, we were truly able to grow that base. Another thing that has been an accomplishment here locally within the state, we had a member of Benedict College, a historically Black college, the first college of historically Black college in the country, to be able to have a young lady to be part of the leadership program here within the American Red Cross. And so again, that was a huge accomplishment. The first historically Black college was from here within the state of South Carolina, of Benedict College. So we've had many accomplishments. That's just a few. Another thing that I want to mention, when we started our task force like a year and a half ago, going into 2 years now, believe it or not, time has gone by, and we were able to do this all through the pandemic, and where a number of schools, the kids went remote. The Our businesses went virtual, but there was still a need for blood, as we all know. I mean, sickle cell didn't go virtual; it's still there, and we needed the blood, and we needed the blood, and so we were able to get out with the Be Strong Foundation, with many other foundations, and make sure that we were able to carry this mission forward. So I know I'm saying a lot, but one thing that I'm excited about is that we have been able to accomplish a lot, and that is through partnerships like the Be Strong group. And so, what I'll do, Brenda, I'll turn it back over to you and see if there are other questions. But one last thing to mention before we go on, the question is what many people ask: how can I help?
Mhm.
How can you help? So let me just mention a couple things that you can do. We are always looking for other foundations, organizations. If you work at a company, or if you have a foundation and they may be interested in hosting a blood drive, you can reach out to us directly. Whether that is reaching out to me directly, reaching out to Brenda Green directly, or reaching out to redcrossblood.org, and you can host a blood drive. And then also, there are a number of opportunities to get out and donate. The one that I'm most that's most at the forefront right now is the one that's happening on December the 28th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we are always looking for donors. We are always looking for donors, those diverse donors, any donors to come in and to help us to be able to continue on with saving lives. This time of year, you have a lot of people that are focused on spending time with their family, on giving gifts. But one of the biggest gifts that you can give is by saving lives and giving the gift of blood. That is something that is needed. You're going to have many kids, many adults that may have a crisis during this time, and we want to make sure that we have blood available. Lastly, before I turn it over to Brenda to see if we have questions, I am on an 8 o'clock call every day. And just because I'm on vacation, I still get on that call. And that call is important because it's with our medical director, and we talk about how many units are needed. How many units of blood will the hospitals need? How many units of blood are we short? And I can tell you, got on the call today, and because everyone is focused on, again, spending family, we know that we've been through this pandemic, and a lot of people are excited about getting out and being able to spend time. But what I heard this morning is that we need blood. We need blood on the shelves. Our shelves are empty, and we need you to get out and donate. So, Brenda, I'll turn it back over to you to see if you have questions.
Oh, and you shared a lot, and that's a good thing. And I just want to let everybody know, if you're listening, and you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and Shonette and I will be happy to answer them. And those of you who are listening on replay, you can still put your questions in the comments, and I
Mhm.
will make sure Shonette gets them so she can respond accordingly. So, and thank you all for listening. Um, but I know, Shonette, if you don't mind, if I back up, you started out sharing information about yourself and your
Mhm.
personal why. And you know,
Mhm.
that's one thing we're stickler about, is sharing our why. And you guys that are listening, that's one of the reasons why I am so I feel blessed and grateful to be in a partnership with the American Red Cross and working with this particular group here in task force here in South Carolina, because when you have a personal connection to something,
Mhm.
you're going to make sure things get done and get done right and
Mhm.
efficiently. And that's one thing, I know that Shonette makes sure things are in place. And that's one thing I appreciate, because that's where it is. And for us to be able to, like Shonette mentioned, that the need is constant. Um, we can, I'm sure, even now, but I'm sure earlier today, there was a child at the Children's Hospital here getting a blood transfusion.
Hmm.
And I know there was an adult at the adult sickle cell clinic here in Columbia getting a blood transfusion. Um, and you guys know our story of Braden receiving it was a life-saving blood transfusion. So it was under an emergency situation. And fortunately, the blood was available. But trust me, whenever I see that message, whether it's on the television in a commercial or whether I see it on Twitter in a tweet, um, the critical need, the shortage, and I just visualize being a mom or a parent, in the hospital, knowing your child needs a transfusion just to save their lives, and you hear that there's a shortage that just sends
Hmm.
something in me. And so with that and knowing that, that's another thing that drives me. Now it's bigger than just my child, of course. uh,
Hmm.
I understand the need. And Shana, I want to say thank you for sharing your why. Thank you for your
Hmm.
dedication, because and I know it
Hmm.
impacts real people.
Right.
Yeah, it impacts real people that we love, real people that we know. So you guys, this is our purpose. We're
Yep.
supposed to be here. So, I could get long winded and then I could get mushy. So let me move along. But I'm so glad because I see Big Sarge in the comments, wanting to share the flyer. And we're so grateful because of our partnership with the Columbia Sigmas.
Hmm.
We hosted a blood drive together earlier this year. And, having our task force reach out to our local fraternities and sororities and HBCUs and other organizations, that's so important. It's an important key to spreading awareness within the community. So, Shauna, anything you want to add to that? I didn't
Yeah.
have a just yet.
No, that's good. No, absolutely. And some things that I would like to mention as well. I know people always ask the question, how safe is it? I mean, I know we're all watching the news, we're all, waiting because of this new variant. And so let me just tell you some of the things that we are doing to keep safe. We're making sure that we're following all CDC guidelines. We are doing extra cleaning. If you ever come to a blood drive and I'm there, I roll up my suit sleeve and I get there and I clean off beds, I clean off tables, because that is what we do. We make sure that our staff are healthy. We make sure our staff are getting vaccinated. Most of our staff are vaccinated. We make sure that we're wearing masks. We wear masks no matter what. We wear masks the whole entire time. The only time that you don't see a staff person with a mask, if they step away from the area, maybe to get a sip of water or maybe to grab a bite to eat. But if they're on the floor in what we call the donor room, the room where you collect the blood, or when they're asking questions, we have on a mask at all times. And anyone that is allowed into the donor room or into the blood drive area are required to wear masks. So again, we make sure that not only are we keeping the donor safe, but we're also focused on our staff as well to make sure that our staff are safe. And I know there may be a question because some people may receive vaccinations. That is not a deferral. So if you receive a vaccination, whether it's a booster, a second shot, or a first shot, you are still able to come in and donate. The only thing that we may ask, if you are feeling well and healthy today, and just to make sure you don't have a fever or all of those things. But please do not allow that to stop you from donating, because as we've mentioned, we are in a critical need and we want to make sure that we can continue to save lives.
Okay. And I'm glad you addressed the safety part of it, especially like you said, when we're hearing in the news about, the new variant. But realize that in order to address this need, address the shortage, even through the whole pandemic, the American Red Cross have been safe at our blood drives. And I can attest to that because you all who know me know that Brenda Green wouldn't be out if she didn't feel like it's going to be safe, because I have to make sure that I'm not bringing any, or I try my best to make sure that I'm not exposing my son to anything. So, um, yeah, that's a good important. So for all you to know, those who have signed up for our blood drive next week, You don't have to worry about that. So just wear your mask. Hope you feel well. Think provisions are in place to make sure it's as safe as possible. And those of you who haven't signed up, you can go ahead and sign up and be assured that safety measures will be in place. Um, we have Miss Donna on the line. She made a
Hey,
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 Miss
Miss
Donna.
Donald.
And she mentioned blood donations are so important, and she knows she's on this task force as well.
Yes,
The
yes.
treatment of sickle cell disease, and she's thanking us for sharing our whys and for our work on behalf of our warriors. And thank you to Miss Miss Yvonne for your lifelong dedication to our sickle cell warriors as well.
Absolutely. And Miss Yvonne calls me occasionally just to say thank you. And I always let her know it's on maybe on a day where it's been a long day, it's been a stressful day, but to hear someone reach back and say, hey, Shonette, I know it's tough. I know it's long hours, but thank you for continuing to make sure that we have blood to continue to save lives. So it's great to hear and get that response or that word of encouragement from Miss Donald.
So that's great. Again, you guys, if you we're speaking with Shonette Sneed, a regional donor services executive with the American Red Cross. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section, and we'll make sure we get them answered. Again, if you're listening on replay, you can still add your comment or your question, and we will make sure they are answered. Um, Mr. Curry, he says, I have Zeta Sisters on board to partner also so we can plan another blood drive for the new year. That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Shonette.
Yay. Very
So
good.
definitely just reach out, and let's get it on the books, right?
Yes. We
It's
looking
that simple, right, Shonette? I mean, well, reaching out to you all.
Absolutely. Again, just reach out. If you reach out to redcrossblood.org, they will direct you in the right way. If it's something for South Carolina, all of those leads or those messages come directly to a member of my team. And then what we do, if you leave a message on the board and just say, hey, I'm interested, I'm here locally within South Carolina, we would love to host a blood drive. We call you back right away within 24 hours. Anyone tell you, I'm always, if you call, I always respond right away. Even if I can't respond, if I'm in a call or in a meeting, I'll send you a text and say, I'll call you right back. And again, and I think the reason why that is so important because a number of this, a lot of the success that we've had over the last year and a half or two has been from leads, from people knowing someone that's in a fraternity, sorority, or has a group and say, hey, Shonette, this may be someone that you want to reach out to. I think I saw Sarge on here, and that was a lead from Miss Green and her husband to say, hey, this group, and we went out and had an opportunity to speak. And so, again, a lot of the blood drives that we've been able to host have been through leads. So, again, it is important and it is easy. The minute that you reach out, we do all of the work. We send you the flyers, we send you everything that you need. We reach out to you leading up to your blood drive and just give you, hey, this is how your appointments are doing. So again, we do a lot of the leg work, and we partner with you to make sure that we able to have the donors to come in.
Oh, absolutely. And I just wanted to say she's telling the truth because once you reach out, I had an immediate response. Um, and anytime we host a blood drive, I just give them the date. All I have to do is get y'all to sign up to come. And trust me, they make it so easy. And initially I was really intimidated about doing our first one, but it was so easy to say, "Oh, we could do this." But
Mhm.
we just have to um, just share your why. Reach out to your supporters, reach out to your family, your friends, talk to them, and if they have questions or concerns, the Red Cross is there to answer those questions, to address those concerns. Again, if you were listening last week, Dr. Miller shared some of the medical whys, the things that we have to do as blood donors to be healthy enough or to be in a position um, to be able to donate every 56 days. our low iron or low hemoglobin, things we can do for that, and hydrate. I don't know if we pushed hydration last week, Shonette, but
Okay.
if you sign up next week, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Yes. Hydration is very important. It helps to help that blood to flow and to keep you hydrated prior to going in. And then we keep you hydrated, whether depending on what a type of donation you do. If you're doing a what we call a double red cell or a power red cell, we give you fluids back. But if you're donating whole blood, what we do is we continue to give you water. We continue to ask if you want something to drink. So hydration is very important to make that blood a lot easier to come out. And I can tell you, I can attest to it. I drink a lot of water, and when I donate, and people's like, oh my gosh, you donate so quickly. And again, that is because staying well hydrated. And and I know you probably hear the commercials on TV, but you here tonight have two people that have stories, and we've shared with you our whys and why that is so important. I can't say it enough. Even when I see other people on the street, I always ask, get into a conversation, and I ask, whether I'm dealing with someone African American, of someone of color, or anyone, and just say, do you donate? And a lot of times people say, the reason why I don't donate is because I've never been asked to donate. So
Mm,
I'm here tonight asking all of you, if you have not signed up for December the 28th blood drive, please, please, please give that gift of life and be able to donate. And I can tell you, when I donate, I don't care what I'm going through that day. When I get off that table, I feel so great because I know something that I have can help someone else, whether that is my own family member or someone else's family member. So again, give the gift of life. Take a minute out of your time during this holiday season and go in and roll up your sleeves and be able to give back.
yes. And and I'll just follow up with that a lot of times you'll hear with the Red Cross in the commercial saying one donation can save up to 3 lives. You guys, that's true. It can save lives. You're looking at the face of a mama where that worked, and it helped to save my son's life. So this is a season where we're not asking for money at this time. We're asking for, for you and I, those of us who have uh, the majority normal red blood cells, our body can create them, in time. We can replenish ourselves. That doesn't happen with those with sickle cell disease. They need your donation under certain circumstances. So next week when you come out, you know, you're giving a child or an adult, a mother who is a warrior, the chance to just get through a day pain free, or you're giving their body a chance to recover so they can live. That's what you would be doing by being a regular blood donor. If you can't come out next Tuesday, just go to red cross redcrossblood.org, put in your zip code for where you're going to be, find a drive that's close to you, and then sign up for that as well. But as long as you're donating somewhere at some drive, preferably next Tuesday from 11 to 4, um, that's what that's what my goal is. And Shonette, can I put in another plug?
Sure.
Um, we do, and I told you guys last week, but if you want to join Team Be Strong and become a Braden's buddy, you can. I am going to do a video today showing you how to do that on your blood donor app. But you'll get this cool, and I know you probably can't see it, but it kind of said Braden Buddies on there. You'll get this band indicating that you are a member, but you could join on your Red Cross, your blood donor app. You can join it that way. And for those of my friends who are listening in other states or not really local to Columbia, you can still join our team and donate close to where you are, and you can contribute that way. So just join the team. Just be a blood donor. That's all I'm asking. That's my plug.
Thank you.
So, but I love my donor app. It's so convenient. We talked about it last week. I mean, you can. It's refreshing to be able to see where your blood donation goes. The last couple of times it has gone to MUSC. The time before that was even Lexington Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's a cool function of that app as well. Shonette.
Yep. So I'll just leave you with a few things. And I know we've said it a number of things today. And again, that is to get out and donate. Brenda said it best. If you're not able to donate next December the 28th from 11 a.m. to 4 at the Bull Street location, make it a family affair and put in a zip code. Go to the website, put in a zip code, even if you're out of the state and you're visiting family, make it a family affair. We need blood. And so get out and donate and be able to give back and to give that gift of life. And remember, when someone is in need for blood, they're not thinking about the holidays. They're not thinking about Christmas. They're not thinking about New Year. The only thing that they're thinking about is feeling better and receiving that blood transfusion. So if you want to give me anything for the holiday for Christmas, I'm asking for a unit of blood. Give back. We need diverse donors to get out and donate to be able to help sickle cell warriors. And we know, and I think Dr. Miller, she goes into talking about why it's so important. So again, roll up your sleeves, take an hour of your day, 45 minutes to an hour, to give a gift that we can't place under the tree, but we can place it in an arm. So again, please, please, please give the gift of life. Get out and donate on 12/28 next Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then again, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to be here, not only to share my personal story, but to thank you from the American Red Cross for all that you do. We couldn't be here without all of you, without Brenda, without everyone on this call. So I am delighted to say that I'm happy and to be a partner and looking forward to the new year as we continue to grow the number of diverse donors.
That was perfect, Shonette. And again, we appreciate you for always being willing to share your why, always be willing to help us to make sure we get the donations that we need to get to for us to stay on board. Thank you for sharing our accomplishment. Thank you for telling the people, our listeners, what we're doing right now that they may not see in the forefront,
Mhm,
all the
mhm.
background work that you're really there's so much going on, you all. There's so much involved with making sure that we meet the need of our sickle cell warriors. So thank you, Shonette, for the part that you play in that, and again for coming on your week off, coming on to share um,
Mhm.
to our listeners. And again, everybody, thank you all for listening. If you have any comments or questions, please still leave them in the comments. Um, go back on our feed. You'll see a couple of videos. One that Shonette was actually a star in about the fear of needles. We shared that earlier. So go and take a look. Um, ask some questions, and we'll make sure they get answered. And as usual, thank you for joining us on our Tuesday chat. We'll see you. Actually, we won't see you guys again until the new year for our next Tuesday chat, where we have a lineup of some fabulous speakers sharing some amazing things, so we all can continue to learn. So we bid you good night, everybody.
Thank you.